Welcome back. We're getting in breaking inputs. In fact, we are learning that leader of opposition and Congress MP Rahul Gandhi on Thursday has slammed the merit system in India. He's in fact questioned the entire merit system by opposing the caste census, saying that they want to keep the truth hidden. Of course, he's clearly aiming or training his guns at the center. And according to Rahul Gandhi, the notion of merit is that of an unfair idea, is what the leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi has had to say. Listen into what he's also saying as he's questioning the merit system in India, calling it one that is unfair, also claiming that those who are opposed to the caste census are actually anti-national. Listen into what Rahul Gandhi is saying.
There is this idea that is being pushed by the RSS and the BJP, right? Which is basically to destroy their history, to destroy the history of the Dalits and the Adivasis and the OBCs. I think it's not supporting the caste census is actually anti-national, because what you're saying is that we're not ready to accept the truth of what is going on in our country. There is this idea that is...
All right, let's quickly go across to Pallavi, who will put that into perspective for us. Pallavi, how is this now going to go down with the BJP, which has, of course, been using this to call Congress a Dalit Virodhi party?
Well, if you've been looking at the reactions which have been coming in from the BJP since yesterday, once this interview was put out on Rahul Gandhi's YouTube handle, it was very, very clear that they are trying to call out his duplicity. They are also giving a past instance when they say that Rahul Gandhi actually seems to be against the entire idea of the caste census or caste-based politics. In fact, I remember when he first entered into active politics in 2004, Akanksha, he always insisted that merit should be the consideration rather than the caste. But over a period of time, this is very clearly the kind of political mandate he wants for his party, the projection of the party. And the fact is that if you are against the caste census, if you're against the fact that caste-based employment should take place, then he's actually labeling them as anti-national. The BJP's counter to this is that merit should be important. You don't have to look at the caste of a person, because that's what is part of the Indian constitution, that everyone is given the same right, equal rights, irrespective of the caste, religion, race that they belong to. In fact, they're calling Rahul Gandhi's narrative as being anti-national and also calling it extremely dangerous.
Share some reactions with us, Pallavi, that have come in from the Bharatiya Janata Party, from the likes of, say, even C.R. Keswan.
All of them have been making the larger point. There are two things that they're showing. They're showing an earlier instance where Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have actually said that we have to get rid of the caste system. We want people to be recognized on the basis of their merit. So now they're asking, is that what is it that Rahul Gandhi was talking about then? What is he talking about now? And the second important thing that they're pointing out is that do you want to have a society where the caste of a person is going to become more important than what that person is? What is the job that they've done? What is the merit that they bring on the table? So isn't it a dangerous precedence which Rahul Gandhi wants to bring?
And this could also clearly backfire for Rahul Gandhi, who's somebody who's also known to be the scion of the Gandhi Parivar. And when you look at that legacy that he carries, the BJP is certainly going to use this to in fact expose his feudal and rather nepotistic mindset. On that note, Pallavi, going to request you to continue staying with me, because I'm also joined in by Sardar R.P. Singh, who's joining me on the phone line. Mr. R.P. Singh, how do you in fact weigh in on what Rahul Gandhi has had to say when he's saying that anybody who questions the merit system in India is actually an anti-national because they are against a caste census?
Well, this shows the mindset of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. And then there's a new change DNA of Mr. Rahul Gandhi from the Congress party, which is trying to divide the society on the basis of caste. And then he has been regularly pitching on this. His father has a different DNA on this subject. His grandmother has a different DNA, Najat Pe Na Paat Pe. And then it started changing thereafter with Mr. Rahul Gandhi, because he thinks by dividing society, by dividing the Hindus, he can probably win elections. And then by getting the vote bank of one particular community together, he can win the elections. But that's not going to help him, because people at large understand what his game plan is.
But Mr. Singh, he's also somebody who's of the view that, this can't just be a matter of class, but it has to be caste as well, given that there is a majority which is still the pichhda worg.
Well, there are provisions within the law to take care of every community, and then obviously government is committed for the caste census also in 2026. But ask him what he's doing in Karnataka, where the caste survey was done. What has he done in Karnataka?
No, but
What
how
is
do you
his
think this is
outcome in
going to go down with for the BJP, given that during the Lok Sabha campaigning we heard this whole sloganeering or chant of Samvidhan Khatre mein hai. Today we are talking about how those who are opposing the caste census are anti-national and are the ones against the constitution. What does BJP have to say to defend that?
Well, he tried his best to extend this in Haryana, Maharashtra, and Delhi. He miserably failed. He tried his best, but he miserably failed. But the fact is that, yes, we are in favor of getting the caste census done and ensuring that everyone who has to be allocated whatever as per the caste should be taken care, but not dividing the society, but not by pitching one against other. This can be very harmful, and this can lead to a lot of other outcomes of the subject, because it's not merely dividing society. It will make us vulnerable to outside forces also. We have seen what has happened in Bangladesh.
There's also a very interesting reaction that has come in from Mr. C.R. Keswan, who says that this shocking outburst has in fact not just exposed the nepotistic and feudal mindset of the Congress party, but the dynastic Congress has always historically abused and insulted meritorious leaders belonging to the SC, ST and OBC communities. If you could expand on that, please.
Well, he's right. Mr. Keswan is right. That is the dynastic mindset or the privileged class mindset, which is putting it like Mr. Rahul Gandhi is dealing the subject like this. Fact is, why should we not take the merit on board? Anyone who has to go on up in life has taken care of merit. Also, there are provisions to ensure that backward and the scheduled tribes and are taken care without giving them special privileges on certain percentage level. But that doesn't divide the merit as a subject. I mean, why not to consider merit? This shows that he doesn't believe in merit as a class.
Mr. Singh, in fact, I'm going to request you to continue staying with me. Let's also bring in Fakhrul Chaand of the Samajwadi Party, who's joining in. Fakhrul साहब, क्या कहना है आपका? अब जो राहुल गांधी का लेटेस्ट स्टेटमेंट आया है कि जो कास्ट सेंसस के खिलाफ हैं वो एंटी नेशनल हैं।
नहीं, तो सवाल ये कि समाजवादी पार्टी का तो मुद्दा ही है कि जाति जनगणना होनी चाहिए। वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की 10-11 साल से सरकार है देश में। आप जाति जनगणना क्यों नहीं करा रहे हैं? आप पिछड़ों को अधिकार उनका या दलितों को उनके अधिकारों से क्यों वंचित कर रहे हैं? उत्तर प्रदेश में शिक्षक भर्ती होती है 69,000, उसमें पिछड़ों को उनका अधिकार नहीं मिलता, उनका हक नहीं मिलता। EWS के नाम पे देश में क्या हो रहा है? भारतीय जनता पार्टी किनका हक मार रही है? पिछड़े दलितों का हक क्यों मार रही है? तो वो सवाल तो है ही है देश के सामने। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी आरक्षण के खिलाफ है, वो आरक्षण देना नहीं चाहती है, इसलिए 69,000 शिक्षक भर्ती की पूरी सूची को माननीय उच्च न्यायालय द्वारा निरस्त कर दिया गया था, ये कहते हुए कि जो आरक्षण संविधान में दिया गया है उसका पालन नहीं किया गया। तो
फखरुल साहब वो कह रहे हैं कि मेरिट अपने आप में त्रुटिपूर्ण है, पर ऐसा क्यों कहेंगे वो? क्योंकि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का तो ये कहना है कि ऐसे बहुत से हैं जो मेरिट के बेसिस पे SC ST बहुत सारे ऐसे लीडर्स रहे हैं जो मेरिट के बेसिस पे बने हैं अपने खुद के बल पे।
नहीं, देखिए, राहुल गांधी जी वो जाति जनगणना की बात कर रहे थे और समाजवादी पार्टी समझती कि जो जाति जनगणना है,
हाँ, पर उन्होंने मेरिट को भी क्वेश्चन किया है। उन्होंने कहा है कि मेरिट अपने आप में एक त्रुटिपूर्ण जो है।
नहीं, देखिए, बिहार में जाति जनगणना कराई गई और जो आरक्षण का दायरा था उस आरक्षण के दायरे को बढ़ाया गया। किसी ने अपोज नहीं किया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी अगर वो आज सवाल उठा रही है तो क्यों बिहार में आपने सवाल नहीं उठाया? तो जो सवाल राहुल गांधी जी उठा रहे हैं उस सवाल को तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने विरोध भी नहीं किया बिहार में, तो आज वो क्यों इस बात का विरोध कर रहे हैं? और भारतीय जनता पार्टी आखिर वो आरक्षण का विरोधी क्यों है? जाति जनगणना की विरोधी क्यों है? जो संविधान में व्यवस्था दी गई है उसकी विरोधी क्यों है? ये जब सवाल तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बताना ही पड़ेगा कि वो जाति जनगणना क्यों नहीं कराना चाहती, और जो संविधान में आरक्षण की व्यवस्था दी गई है क्यों उत्तर प्रदेश और दूसरे राज्यों में जहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकारें हैं वहां पे उन आरक्षण की व्यवस्था की जो संविधान में दी गई उसका पालन नहीं हो रहा है? क्यों आप EWS के नाम पे जो पिछड़े दलित हैं उनका हक खाने का काम कर रहे हैं? इन सवालों का जवाब तो भाजपा को देना पड़ेगा।
जी फखरुल साहब, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ऑन दैट नोट आई क्विकली गो बैक टू Pallavi. Pallavi, so some very pertinent and valid questions being raised by Fakhrul Chand over there from the Samajwadi Party, but having said that, these questions are not new. They have been raised in the past as well. If you could take our viewers through the kind of stance that the BJP has, especially when it comes to its own stance as far as caste census is concerned.
Well, yes, absolutely. And see, we've noticed that in the last 1 year or so, Rahul Gandhi very clearly has made the caste census, the whole caste issue as a fulcrum of his politics, and that is where he has faced ire. In fact, in in multiple platforms, and I remember during the Lok Sabha elections also, Akanksha, he has said that should the Congress party come to power at the centre, we are going to ensure that caste census takes place. In state governments like Telangana, where they are in power, and in Karnataka, he has already spoken about a caste census. But that's exactly what the BJP is countering, and they show him the constitution and say that, look, as per the constitution, you don't differentiate a person on the basis of the caste, religion and caste. I think Rahul Gandhi's YouTube interview yesterday is very interesting also in the context of the timing, because later this year we are going to see elections in Bihar where caste becomes a critical factor, and perhaps that's also a mandate he's trying to address.
Another very important point that he's made, or rather a very interesting one, is that, as far as the BJP and the RSS is concerned, he's saying that they are eliminating the history of SC, STs and the OBCs, at the same time maintaining that giving them power or electoral representation means nothing as long as they are not represented in bureaucracy, corporations and even intelligence agencies.
Well, if you remember, he had stoked a controversy when I remember during the budget which was being presented last time, the vote on account, he had actually used the issue of the halwa ceremony and saying that, when I saw those pictures, I was wondering how many bureaucrats or how many secretaries also belong to Dalits or the backward caste. It had raised a huge furor where the BJP had accused him of playing caste politics. There was a time when caste politics, and we all know, in states like down south, in Bihar, UP, the caste becomes a very potent political factor. But for the sake of optics and because you want to talk about change, you don't want to look at people or employment from the prism of caste. And that's exactly the point which the BJP has been making against it.
Many thanks to you, Pallavi, for sharing those extensive inputs and perspective on that news story. Let's also play out what BJP's Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has to say as he speaks to CNN News 18's Arunima. Listen in.
Overrated? Rahul Gandhi thinks so, but what is the Bharatiya Janata Party's point of view? Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, former union minister, is merit overrated? He says those who are, speaking in favor of merit are upper caste people opposed to caste.
Actually, क्या है, पब्लिक ने इनको पूरी तरह से डीमेरिट कर दिया है. अब ये मेरिट पे तो आते नहीं है, तो इसलिए पूरे देश की मेरिट को ये ओवररेटेड कहेंगे. मेरिट का जो है वो कोई मूल्य नहीं बताएंगे. मुझे लगता है कि जो कास्ट बेस्ड जनगणना है वो अपनी जगह पर है, लेकिन आप जो है वो हमारी जो और भी जो हमारे बहुत ही काबिल जो पूरे लोग हैं उनकी आप मेरिट को आप कह देंगे कि बेकार है, फर्जी है, तो ये तो बेवकूफ़ी से ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है.
ओके, दी अदर इशू सर, जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट कोलिजियम नई दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट के जज को ट्रांसफ़र आउट करने की बात कही है क्योंकि एक आग के इंसिडेंट के दौरान उनके घर से कैश की रिकवरी हुई है. अब कांग्रेस ने कहा है कि ये एक टेस्ट केस है फॉर पार्लियामेंट्स इंटरवेंशन.
देखिए, मैं देखता हूँ कि जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट है